Welcome to the Toonami Squad podcast sessions, episode 10, Toonami's 20-year anniversary broadcast. One Piece hoists its colors one last time, and much more. We fight together.
And we are live. Hello and welcome to the Toonami Squad podcast sessions. I'm your host, Eric Casey, also known as eRockstar5 on Twitter. Welcome to episode 10.
I'm JMB, aka The Boss, the founder of Toonami Squad.
I am Sam. I'm one of the writers for Toonami Squad.
I'm Phantom, and next.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. Mighty fine intro.
Yes.
Next.
Short and
Well,
sweet.
our topics of today is Samurai Jack episode 2, our impressions of that. The final episode of One Piece.
That aired on
Unfortunately-
Toonami. Let's. The
Right.
anime is still going on. It's just Toonami ended its run.
Right. The experiment video game / live action thing. Samuel and Me that aired on Toonami as well. That was a thing, and it looked interesting. We'll give you our impressions of that of the first episode. The 20th
As
anniversary.
well as the return of pipes.
Yeah, the return of the 2000. What was it? The Tom 2 era.
I think that's 2002,
Packaging.
2001, I think.
More or
Yes, I
less,
believe so. The return of pipes, and the amazing music video called what was it?
Exquisite Corpse.
Thank you, Sam. Exquisite Corpse.
Yeah.
And
Or Sweat and Shooter Swim.
yes, and to top it all off, the new schedule that will be airing this week, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
March
Yeah.
25th, Saturday.
Yep.
As long as the chat doesn't lag.
Yes. So let's dive right into it. Samurai Jack episode 2. What did we think?
Jesus Christ, how horrifying.
Yeah. I was actually, fun story, I was watching this with my friend again, and when we got to the end, he was just screaming, like, oh my god, what the hell? Oh, I can't believe that happened. And his mother, who
Sure.
doesn't approve of swearing at all, came in and was like, well, what the hell are you doing? And it was incredibly embarrassing, but it was kind of funny at the same time too, because we didn't hear her coming in.
You thought it was Aku for a second?
No,
Aku! Ah!
no. But it was an incredible episode. It certainly
The
feels like
animation.
the first episode felt like a normal episode of Samurai Jack,
Mm-hmm.
but this next episode feels like it took it to the next level, where it doesn't feel like you're watching the same show anymore, but it still feels familiar
Yeah.
at the same time. It certainly, I will say this, out of anything of all seasons of Samurai Jack, this season probably has the most dialogue out of any of the other seasons.
I mean, you have Jack depressed at the fact that they both exist, and then Jack contemplating whether or not if he should commit suicide or not.
Yeah, that's some heavy shit. I mean, you can't get away with that on kids' TV.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, but at least it makes sense though. Like, think of how much he has endured all this time. It only, to me, it only makes sense that he's maybe slowly losing his mind, and
And then Aku is just taking it as
yeah, Aku's depressed from
Dude.
boredom.
I mean, at the point that he's doing therapy with himself.
What did you guys think of Aku's voice? Because for me, it was noticeably different from the original, but I think it does a good enough job where I could, it wasn't like jarring, like, oh my god, that's a
Yeah.
different voice
Greg
actor.
Baldwin.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Greg Baldwin does a fairly good impression. Of course, like Indy said, nothing will replace Mako, but I
Right.
think Greg does a good enough job embodying the voice, imitating the voice of Mako enough that it is slightly noticeable, but not bad enough.
Not too
where it's
noticeable.
jarring.
You could even say though too, like with the time frame that has happened since the last season of Samurai Jack till now, you can make the argument that
That
this
makes
is just what Aku sounds like, in that time
It's like
as a slightly older Aku maybe,
Yeah.
if you want to bring a logic into it. But overall, I thought it was good.
Just like what Aku said, this is the new Aku.
Yes.
Old Aku.
He doesn't care about the samurai warrior.
What got me is I was actually kind of surprised because I thought this particular episode when Jack gets stabbed and everything, they showed it in the trailer and everything, and I was a bit surprised about when I saw that on the trailer, and it kind of took me by surprise in this episode too. I wasn't expecting like Jack to take some damage like that so early in the season, but then again, 10 episodes, you kind of have to, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Kind of what I like a lot about this season is that even though it's a lot darker and definitely a lot more gritty and edgy, I also think it still embodies the spirit of Samurai Jack, because the whole Aku talking to himself as a therapist was really funny.
Yes.
Like, they did not lose what made Samurai Jack fun, but also continued onwards, and they are escalating a lot of season 5, and it seems like it's just going to grow bigger and bigger from here.
Even that assassin guy from the first episode was pretty well received by everybody. The assassin with the flu, kind of like what's his name from Guardians of the Galaxy.
There's Scarab.
Come on, Jack, baby, come on,
Yeah.
come on. I'm only trying to kill you, you know. I thought he
What
was
was his
really
name?
cool.
Scaramouche?
Something like
Something
that, but
like
still,
that.
he was awesome. So
Yeah.
so far
I mean,
they've
he's
done like a
voiced-
perfect blend of the added darkness to the tone of the show, but also having some levity to it as well.
Mhm.
Which again, going back to the original, had that perfect blend, I thought.
Yeah.
And then I need to point out that the visuals or not the choreography and the music are really good with this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I'm loving season 5's visuals. Even though season 1 through 4 were done both by hand and digital, I feel like the
Mhm.
all digital look still feels like Jack, even though it definitely looks like it was done in like these programs on computers, but it still looks very natural. It still looks good.
Yeah, like the thing that gets me is when it plays with the aspect ratio, because I would think back then they did that by hand, but I think it's like because honestly, like that was the only thing that kind of took me by surprise a little bit, how smoothly the aspect ratio changes now as compared to the original show. I thought.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think they did that digitally, but it's good though, in my opinion. Like
Yeah.
it works still. Where do you guys think Jack is heading, like down the line? Where do you think this
Well,
final season's going?
I think he is going to grab his sword back. Whether he defeats Aku remains to be seen, but we shall find
I mean,
out.
Aku doesn't even know. I also say because the first episode it shows a flashback of Jack fighting someone and he drops a sword,
Oh yeah.
and now
Probably learn
and
more
like
about
we can
that.
confirm that he wasn't fighting Aku. He was probably fighting someone. I'm just wondering he could be
Maybe
fighting
the Guardian.
Did that happen in the
Probably.
previous show though? Like,
What?
did that happen in season 4?
No.
Because that location looks familiar to me.
Well, he
What?
didn't lose his sword in season 4.
No.
Oh, he didn't.
No,
It's
Okay.
probably
At the
between
end
the
of season-
gaps between seasons 4 and 5, so that 50-year time span something happened.
Okay. Yeah, because I wasn't sure if that was like a flashback to season 4 or
No.
something in between.
No, he had his sword by the end of
Okay.
season 4.
Okay.
So we don't know what he was fighting, but one thing's for sure, it's not Aku. Otherwise,
Yeah.
Aku would have gone after him.
Yeah, Aku doesn't even know that Jack lost his sword.
Which,
So we'll find out.
We will find out. Yeah, 8 episodes left.
I don't want it to end, but
Yeah.
Hey, we can just get that Scotsman. We can pitch the Scotsman spinoff.
God.
I would totally actually watch that.
So that's 2 months, so a whole 2 months before it ends.
Yeah,
Yeah,
short run, but at least it's getting its run.
well deserved. Well deserved.
Very well deserved.
So I guess
Like,
that will
they're
transition us into a show
fingers.
that just finished its run on Toonami.
Yeah.
The ship that sailed.
Yeah, the ship that sank to the bottom depths of the ocean.
That hopefully can be salvageable, but most likely not.
No, probably not.
Probably
Yeah,
not.
you have to make a deal with Davy Jones.
Mm,
Sorry, I was
Blackbeard.
watching Dead Man's Chest.
It's okay.
I
But,
think,
So, One Piece.
yeah, I think this was a fine episode to end its run off on.
I missed it. I fell asleep.
I actually stayed up for it, and I didn't live tweet it. I don't think I did. I don't remember, but I stayed up for at least a good part of it, and then I went to bed. But I think it was a fine episode to end it off on because it dealt with Brooke and him kind of screwing up a lot.
Yeah, it was the episode that basically told Brooke's backstory and everyone was celebrating, right?
No.
Which episode was it?
This was after Thriller Bark, and this is after, I believe, the end of the Spa Islands filler arc.
Oh, okay.
So, this was
Right.
when Brooke was on. Is it the Sunny? I think it's the Sunny,
Mhm.
Yeah.
where he's trying to help out the crew, but keeps on screwing up, and he believes that he can't help them. So,
Right. Yep.
very, very simple episode, but I think it's a nice, calm note to end One Piece's run off on.
Mhm.
Yes.
An episode like that really shows why me personally I love Brooke so much,
Yeah,
because he tries so hard and sometimes he screws up, but he's just so kind-hearted. I love him. It's just so upsetting because he has such an awesome moment later too.
oh yeah, I think I know what you're talking about too, which is kind of sad we're not getting to that
I
arc,
know.
but it is what it is.
I know.
Mm.
I can't blame Adult Swim. I can't blame
Nope.
Toonami. It's just One Piece never caught on.
Hmm.
I mean, the only people we can blame is the viewer.
Yeah, that's true. I'm sure One Piece Toonami watchers were watching till the very end, but for everyone else, I guess One Piece just never caught on, which is
I mean,
kind of sad.
like Jason said, it had its day in court, I guess.
Yeah, I'm sure they were fighting tooth and nail to keep it on, but
Pretty much, yeah. And they try to promote it different ways, so many different ways.
They again, like we said last episode, they tried their damnness. You can't deny that.
oh, I
Yeah.
can't deny it. And it's just the fact that the viewer never showed up. Can't really say much past that.
Yeah.
I mean, with what's replacing it, I probably would have picked something better, but then again, I never saw Tokyo Ghoul, so
Well, it's not even really replacing it. It's just
Yeah, like I said the last.
I think Tokyo Ghoul was just in the crossfires, and they didn't. I think this was sort of a last minute thing where they're kind of like, "Oh shit, this show's ending." Actually, well, we have a show for it.
right.
I don't think Tokyo Ghoul was their replacement for One Piece. I think One Piece was just in the crossfires at the time, and Tokyo Ghoul was their recent acquisition.
I think Jason said they just found out like the week before that One Piece was gonna be removed.
Yeah, I think that was during their live Q&A. They might have had red flags up before where they're kind of like, "Oh, this is leaving. We got to do something."
Yeah,
But
maybe,
I think programming came to them and said, "Look, we're getting rid of One Piece. This is over."
yeah. And again, like it just seems like it sounded like Tokyo Ghoul was inevitable.
It sounded like
especially when they
had
say
it-
like they didn't get it to specifically replace One Piece.
No,
It
seems
sounded like they have Tokyo Ghoul, and it was eventually going to come on, whether it be Ghost in the Shell when that gets taken off, or if
I have a feeling that if anything, that kind of just says, "Oh, hey, one show is going to end," and whether that had been JoJo or
that's what I meant. My
whether that
bad.
had been JoJo, that would have been Samurai Jack's replacement, and that they would have moved something from like 12:30 to 11, whatever the case may be.
Most likely.
It doesn't seem like Tokyo Ghoul was something that they had in mind to replace One Piece with. So
it was just coincidence.
I think this was a fine episode to end it off on. There's not really much to talk about with
I agree.
the final episode. Not really a whole lot happens.
So let's just talk about the experimental micro series.
Yeah, so let's talk Sand Whale and Me.
Yes.
Mamoru Oshii.
I find it bizarrely weird.
Put it into words, Sam. Tell it how it is.
I think it's weird, but I kind of like it. It's very quirky. It feels like a 5-minute Adult Swim bump brought in to Toonami.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much the vibe that I got. It was weird as hell.
I mean, it's a video game. It's a live-action anime.
It's so weird because it's so bizarre and out of place for a block that's mainly animation. And while there is some animation in there, it's mainly focused on live action aspects. It's funny.
As it kind of reminds me of like in film class. It reminds me of something that you would see in like the experimental film class, where people try to do abstract things and see if you can make it into a thing. That's what it seems like to me.
No.
I mean, they told Oshii to do whatever.
Yeah.
And
he did whatever. And
definitely did whatever.
I don't know. I liked it. It was certainly different than anything I've ever seen here on the block before.
We just hope we get more experimental micro series like that.
I hope to see more than one micro series. I'll put it that way.
Yeah,
I mean, hell,
I think they're cool to kind of break up the block a little bit.
Yeah. Although they clearly were trying. I feel like it did push back shows because I remember specifically that Samuel and Me was 5 minutes long. That pushed back Kai from ending about 2 minutes or so, and JoJo didn't start until about 12:30 something.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Not that bad.
Not too much of a delay.
I think what we'll get to later is the music video at the end kind of balanced everything out. But yeah, I liked it. It was weird. It was surreal. It was definitely different. But it was just very unique, and I don't think anyone can say anything besides that. It's very unique. It's something that I don't think anybody has ever tried before.
Yeah. Maybe this might lead into for other directors to do stuff like that.
Yeah, no, definitely. It'd be cool to see something that they could just throw on the block in between packages and stuff. And again, like I said, like it kind of broke up the block a little bit in between, especially for like commercial breaks and all. It's I would say it was cool to see rather than the normal, commercials in between the shows and everything too.
I was mentioning other networks.
Yeah.
So you don't have to rewatch an episode of, say, like something dumb like 2 times ago.
Yeah, like I don't know if you should. They kind of promote it in a way like this thing that we have going. You don't just turn your brain off. You don't need to think about it too logically. So roll with it. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
So if you haven't seen it, I would recommend checking out the first episode just to see how you react to it and see if you like it going forward. But for those of you who haven't seen it, I don't think you need to see the previous episodes to kind of jump into it. It seems like each one's kind of so weird and bizarre that you'll be fine without seeing the previous episode if you're one of those.
I was gonna say the first trailer that they released didn't even indicate that it would be like how it is. Like it didn't have gaming stuff or nothing in it.
Yeah, the trailer was kind of tame as compared to the actual thing.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
The second one they did, it had showed all that.
The thing is about it, it's a weird thing, and you should definitely check it out. It's weird and bizarre and experimental, and see how you react to it.
Yeah.
And free.
Yeah, I think it's on Adult Swim's website, and I think you
It's
can watch
on
it
their website. You can watch it on demand.
and it's also on Toonami's Facebook page.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can watch it on Adult Swim site for free. You don't have to log in or nothing.
Except for Spectrum TV. It sucks.
Wait, you have to? That's stupid.
I have to log in to access Adult Swim on the Spectrum TV app.
Well, just access it from the Adult Swim app.
It's not. I can't access it from the app either. It's not listed.
Oh, that's stupid. But you should still be able to watch The Samuel and Me for free on the Adult Swim app without logging in.
Well, for free, yes, I can do that. I just can't log in on the Adult Swim app.
You have to call your kid about that. Anyway, we kind of get off topic.
No, I'm just gonna say this: if Spectrum TV is watching this, or get your ass in gear and fix this shit. Spread the hate for Spectrum. I don't know.
Let's get back on topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
speaking of get on topic, let's talk about the pipes.
What did you guys think of the return of the 2001-2002 era of Toonami?
I think it actually goes well with Toonami right now.
Yeah, because a lot of the block is very.
pipes are calling.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me a lot of the shows that they aired during that era. We got
Exactly, yeah.
we got an hour of Dragon Ball. We have Samurai Jack. We have
Gundam.
Gundam.
Yeah,
The
Gundam.
only things that weren't there during the Pipes era was Naruto, One Piece, and of course the new shows JoJo and Hunter.
I really like
Okay.
that. I really like that it was in black and white too, kind of like a throwback type of thing. Which I
Yeah.
thought was kind of an interesting choice
Yeah,
in like design and stuff like that, and the font too, kind of making it that glowy, whatever font they chose to use. It was pretty cool.
And then that robotic arm in the background.
I don't want to say like film noir type of look, but like kind of like a flashback type of style to it with the black and white color scheme that they went with. I thought it was really cool, and nostalgia's sake, it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Next thing you know, they'll just randomly play Dreams.
it was cool.
It was a nice throwback, and it's something that really acknowledges their past and their present, and I think that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh yes.
It was like the perfect blend of the past and the present in a way. Especially with like that was the introduction to Steve Bloom as Tom and everything. Like, man,
20 years really goes by.
yeah, the nostalgia feels is just overbearing.
Say the feel of nostalgia or the feels, because I'm not
Both.
digging.
Definitely both. And speaking of that, I would say that's a good segue into the music video that happened.
Super special, awesome music video.
Was awesome.
Yep.
Exquisite Corpse.
Maybe we're going to do something really special besides Samuel and Me and just the Pipes look that night, because Jason stated that they were planning on doing a very special music video or whatever for that night, and no one knew what they were talking about.
Mhm.
And this came off
That's a
as
good
a
thing.
huge surprise.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm just glad this was a surprise.
Yeah, same. Like I had work that night, so I got home late to the broadcast. Unfortunately, that was the first thing I saw of the broadcast. That thing.
And I fell asleep.
Yeah, like it reminded me of I don't know if anybody's ever seen it, but the JonTron firework music
Yes.
video that he did. It was basically that, but of Toonami, which was awesome. And also, I dubbed that music video Intruder Swim, right? Is that what I called it? Yes. Hashtag Intruder Swim. I think that would have been the best name for it ever, but it was so great.
Yeah, when are they going to put up that poll for the naming the worm?
I think soon.
Yeah,
They
probably
mentioned
soon.
that during the pre-flight episode that they're going to have a thing soon.
They were supposed to put a post up on Facebook. I guess they never did.
Yeah.
I would expect it soon.
Yeah.
Well, they haven't figured out a prize yet, I think. But speaking of prizes, let's talk about the giveaway.
All's fair. All's fair. I registered.
I registered at work.
I'm registered.
Registered as soon as I seen it, and if you haven't registered yet, you have till March 25th.
I don't
Saturday.
think that you can register multiple times, right? They said
No,
that.
I don't.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try it.
I mean, I'm 1 in a million, so odds of me winning are stacked against me. But hey, I won a contest before.
You won something.
So.
I think
My fingers are crossed for a shirt or a Tom toy. I want to put.
I
Like
really
I
want
said
a
in the
Tom
last
toy.
episode, I want to put that next to my Iron Giant figure.
Yeah, I'm not. If I get mine, I'm not opening it.
Oh no, I'm just gonna leave that in mint condition and just going to
Hang
leave
it.
it on a shelf somewhere.
same.
I'm probably gonna mount mine on the wall.
Careful how you do that.
I got push pins.
Yeah,
I would just do the
new
shelf
T-shirt's
thing.
pretty dope too.
Yeah, I hope they do. I hope that's not just for the contest and they do put that up on Daylight Curfew or
I
something.
will buy that day one. As soon as I see that, I'll be like, "Here's my money. Take it."
After a while, they're gonna sell the action figure too, the Tom
Really?
action figure.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's awesome. I thought it was just a limited, like, oh hey, here's part of the contest where.
No, they said it on the pre-flight.
The pre-fight live that after a while, whenever they're gonna eventually sell a Tom action figure. But for
Probably
right
on
now,
daylight curfew.
you can only get it on the giveaway right now.
They
Okay.
probably put on daylight curfew.
Like that's all I need. That
Yes.
personally,
Yeah.
like I just need that. Like that is something that I've been waiting for
On a Toonami
20
mode.
years.
On a Toonami mode.
Yeah, that like I said, that shirt and that toy is
Enough.
yeah. It sounds weird that nerding out over it, but like it's so worth it. Like I said, it's something that me personally been waiting for like 20 years.
There's a chance you could win everything.
Yeah.
But just putting it in the Adult Swim Voice of God way. Go to Toonami.com Go to Toonami.com/our 20th anniversary to enter to win.
No.
Free swag.
It's Toonami.com/20th.
Oh, it's 20th.
Toonami.com/20th.
Go to Toonami.com/20th.
20th.
Adult Swim. Only Toonami on Adult Swim.
For your chance to win free swag.
The last giveaway I did, I think I screwed up my address when I put it in. So this time I made sure my address was right.
Hey, I want a pen.
Nice.
I won a T-shirt and a pen the last time there was a contest.
Oh damn! Look at you.
So I didn't win anything because, like I said, I screwed up my address. So I made sure this time I put it in right.
Oh, yeah, but then they put that shirt up on daylight curfew, so again, chances are.
But I got it first.
This time, when they mail stuff, it's in better packaging than last time. Because
Yeah.
everybody was just losing their pens out the envelope because they just ripped out the envelope so easy.
Yeah, mine was slightly damaged, but it was damaged to the point where I could just open it and just have my pen fall on my hand.
Yeah.
I don't think mine was damaged at all, but I think it came into like a box, not really a package.
A lot of people are getting them in this regular envelopes.
Which is dumb. Why couldn't they just ship them in these small boxes?
So when the envelope
Cost.
when the envelopes would go to the rollers would pinned it out, and it would rip out the envelope.
I feel so left out. I didn't win anything.
Eric.
Everyone wants something but me.
I go wrong. Yeah, Silver didn't
I'm only
win.
kidding. It's cool.
Well, actually, Silver has a chance to win.
Well, now he does. If he entered. Which I hope he did.
You should probably go remind him if he hasn't. Well,
with that,
the
that was the amazing, awesome music video, and and the prizes during the whole 20-year anniversary party that happened last weekend.
Yeah.
All I gotta say, I want Downside Drags as a physical comic.
Yeah, I forgot they're releasing Intruder 3 as a prize as well.
Yep.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, the comic tie-in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they would bundle Intruder 2 and 3's comic, because I kind of like Intruder 2's comic a lot more than 3's, but that's a personal opinion.
Yeah, same.
But can we all agree that they showed up the sweet ads on there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need Intruder. We need to get that Intruder insurance.
Yeah.
We could definitely use some intruder insurance.
And
yeah.
don't-
Tom could definitely use that.
We could definitely use it too.
Oh my god.
Anyway, let's talk about the lineup.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So
yeah.
starting this Saturday, there's a new lineup.
Yes.
Not much has changed, but Gundam is now going to be airing at 2 a.m. with Tokyo Ghoul premiering at 1.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's certainly not a lot to say about that, but I'm not necessarily surprised Gundam's moved down to 1 a.m.
Yeah.
It's a lot better than pushing Hunter back another half hour, which was what they originally planned on doing.
Yes.
Yeah, I would have disagreed with that move. I think Hunter x Hunter does well in its current spot. And Gundam, I think my prediction with the show is that it's gonna be one of those shows that kind of slowly fizzes out. You know, I'm surprised that it's doing the numbers that it is. Like people are really on board with this one. But I think it's gonna eventually start to slow down. It's pretty good, but it's not like spectacular. It's not just like Iron-Blooded Orphans. It's not really keeping my attention. Only thing that catches my eye is when the action starts happening. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, Gundam's an acquired taste.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge Gundam fan. I have not seen all Gundam series. I have not
Same.
watched.
I do like giant robots.
Yes, I also like giant robots, but I certainly think Gundam is more niche, and it doesn't necessarily. I think it's in the same boat as One Piece, where no matter what happens, is that it just won't catch the attention of a mainstream audience.
Yeah.
Well, I would say that's kind of hard to compare, since One Piece is kind of ongoing, and Gundam has so many different incarnations. You know.
Yeah,
I think it just depends on the show.
I mean, like in the West, most people who know of Gundam know mostly of Gundam Wing,
Yes.
and past that, the excitement for Gundam just went away.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree that Gundam doesn't have the pull that it once had, but I think the thing is though, is that the spin-off shows aren't as, in my opinion, just aren't as strong as, you know, Gundam Wing. You know, like we love like G Gundam is a classic. You know, a lot of people love G Gundam. Me personally, I love G Gundam, but
think
it's
it's one
terrible. Come on, it's terribly done.
I have not actually sat down and watched, but
What do you think?
I've not seen it, so I don't know.
I would recommend G Gundam, but don't take it too seriously. Like it's ridiculous.
How bad is the dub?
It depends. Like for me, like I would say the dub, like the performances, I would say are good, except for like a couple characters, but the writing is passable at best. But there's annoying moments, like the specific character that I hate in G Gundam is Rain, the supporting female character. She is horrible. She's just so one-noted. There's no dynamic to her character. It's just supportive of Domo and Kashu, and literally every single line she has is what she says, and then follow it up by Domon. Like everything that she says, Domon is somehow in the conversation, even when Domon's not even involved. She's like, Domon, you know, just googly eye for Domon the entire time. And it gets to a point where you see 25 episodes, 2 full seasons of that. The whole show is basically like, I think like 50 something episodes. So think of that over the course of 50 episodes. Shut up. But the action is great. The story, like I said, is passable. There's some interesting stuff here and there. Some of the characters are very likable for the most part. But it's very 90s. Like it's so 90s.
I see.
On quality wise, like I said, but again, like I love it as like a good bad show.
All right.
You know, you get some serious entertainment out of it, but it's definitely far from the pinnacle, which is Gundam Wing.
Yeah, and I think for right now we know that Iron Blooded Orphans is coming. I think that's just something that we know as a fact. So no matter what, we know Gundam has a slot locked in. But Phantom and Josh, what are your takes on this?
Meh. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I haven't really watched Unicorn that much. I don't really understand why. Probably because I have too much or a list of shows I need to get to. Like Mystery Science Theater is one of them.
I recommend that show heavily.
Same.
And then I'm behind on JoJo right now. Like probably like 3 or 4 episodes.
Now that's something Toonami should pick up. Mystery Science Theater. But no, that show is too long for it.
No, they should just get them to review Toonami for an episode.
So we're still discussing Gundam moving to 2. So
yeah,
your thoughts
opinions?
on it?
I ain't really got much to say about it. To be honest, I haven't really been paying attention too much to it.
Which is kind of surprising. I mean, it's doing well in the ratings. I'm surprised. I wonder.
I think it's doing fine.
Yeah, no, I'm
Just
not saying it's
not
doing
really
bad. It's
amazing. Just
I keep it on and watch it. I just don't really pay attention to it.
right. Yeah, no, I'm the same way, and I'm just curious, like, if anybody on the internet watches this, just curious, like, how many of you are actually like really interested in Gundam Unicorn? Are you guys just keeping it on just because, or or are you actually invested into it? Comment below if you want, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's really interesting that it does pretty decently in the ratings, and yet people are just like, meh, political talk action, yay.
Yeah, it's kind of goes back to like Gundam just isn't popular in the West compared. Well, Gundam Wing is popular in the West. It's just I don't think Gundam has that staying power like shows like Dragon Ball or God, what other anime? Pokemon. Those types of shows that are just cemented as like
part of our
very
culture
popular.
now.
It's very noticeable in the West.
Yeah.
It's just Gundam just was never going to be that, and unfortunately, it probably never will be. So that's kind of why I compare it a little bit to One Piece, not episode-wise, but just in terms of notability in the West.
a cultural resonator in the West, essentially. Everyone knows Dragon Ball here, but Gundam, not so much. Like, classic Toonami, kind of like Gundam during classic Toonami was close to that. I mean, there was a reason why like almost every Gundam show appeared on Toonami back then. Like it brought in views back then. But it has kind of fallen off. Like what I was saying was during classic Toonami, like Gundam I think was almost on the same level as Dragon Ball. Like it brought in the views essentially.
Yeah.
Because why else did Toonami keep on bringing in Gundam? Like almost all the different spin-offs and everything. Like there was a Gundam mostly on most of the lineups back in classic Toonami for the most part. It was one of those shows that kept on coming back in one way or another. But now, especially that concept of like giant robots, big explosions, that's hoorah, that was very 90s at the time, I thought. But I think Gundam is just something that has suffered from the change in times. Like that's not the same anymore. I think that's part of the reason why Gundam isn't as big as it is now. Because it's just, badass action. It isn't just like giant mechs with big explosions. We ask a little bit more of that.
I mean,
people kind of complain about that concept now, because if that was the case, I mean, financially, yes, but Michael Bay, he's living.
Well, I mean, Gundam has always been about politics, and giant robots are just there as like the action part, just to entertain children. Because I mean, the show is made basically for kids in Japan, but it's aimed at a teen audience here because of difference in culture and all that. But as for a series, it seems like Japan itself is getting really sick of Gundam. It's because you're not seeing as much Gundam series come out in Japan compared to back in the 90s or 2000s. You're seeing sort of a pullback in mech shows in general. That's kind of why Toonami is very sparse with mech anime, and you're seeing mostly shonen shows.
I mean, at least we got Gurren Lagann.
Yeah.
And Gurren Lagann's a great show. Kind of wish it was on an earlier time slot than when it aired at, but whatever.
My problem with it was I watched all of Gurren Lagann on Netflix, and then they announced they were putting it on Toonami. I'm like, damn it.
I mean, that show's great. You can rewatch it as many times as possible.
Yeah. I originally watched it when it was on Sci-Fi's anime block.
Yeah.
And I watched it again on Toonami's when it was on Toonami. But both times...
I actually watched Gurren was on DVD through rentals.
But both times when it was on Sci-Fi's anime block and Toonami, I missed the ending. Both times.
It's on Netflix.
You're not missing much. That ending sucked.
Yeah.
I love that show to death, but that ending was terrible.
It lost its way.
Yeah, I watched it when it was on Toonami, and then when Spoilers died, I just instantly lost interest, because he was the more interesting. Again, kind of similar to Tokyo Ghoul, where one character outshines the protagonist, in my opinion.
Please, Sino's awesome.
And just have to use the limitations of spoilers are lifted, so you can say
I love the animation, though. I will give it that. Like it's a beautiful show, but it didn't catch on to me. But I'm sorry, Sam.
Okay, we have different tastes.
Yes. But what I did wanted to say, though, is that it's kind of sad, though, when you look at it, though, the way the current market is now, because to me this really shows like Toonami kind of going back and like salvaging some of these old shows and everything. It just really shows how like the market. I'm not saying that it's dying per se, but it's become very limited now. Like it's there's not really any great action cartoons being made out there anymore. Which is why most of the shows that are on Toonami right now is anime, because they're really the only ones that are still doing that.
Yeah, and hopefully Samurai Jack changes that. I'm not expecting it to just change overnight. It's got to be something that's gradual over time.
Right.
But if Gendy is working on more shows for Adult Swim that are action or what have you, I think that's really good. And it shows that there is still an interest in action cartoons. But even like with the anime market itself, it's like the popular shows are still shonen. Like you get a few seinen series that get really popular, but the large chunk of people that I feel, this is my personal opinion, is that I feel like the anime market generally favors shonen heavily. You don't see giant mech anime that much anymore, aside from like whatever Gundam show comes on. And then in terms of seinen, you get some really good seinen, and then you get some not so good seinen.
And also like to I think add to that point that a lot of shows try to emulate the shonen like cliches per se. Like it since Toonami's been revived and everything, like I have really delved deep into anime a little bit, and now I've gotten to the point where I've dived so deep into it where I've watched a lot of the popular shows out there. Once you get past those popular shows, like it's really hard to really find a show that you really enjoy that isn't similar to like a Dragon Ball or Naruto or One Piece. Those shonen anime shows, a lot of their tropes are in like all these other shows, like weird comedy and weird eccentric characters with like different colored hair and eyes and all that. But it's not done where I think if you're gonna do anything when you're making a entertainment piece per se, and that goes for like movies, video games, anime, or cartoons, I think the decisions that you make should benefit what you're trying to make. But I feel like it's getting too kind of calculating with it, where it's like, oh, this thing is popular, so integrate some of that into this, like that's one of my problems with like Seven Deadly Sins. Like Seven Deadly Sins is an original work from Netflix, but it feels like a show in anime.
It's based around, well, one, Netflix paid for that. They own streaming rights, but they did not make that. It was
okay.
That they licensed and paid through. It's based around a manga, a shonen manga.
Okay. It's very rare that you come across one that feels different for once,
Yeah, I mean, last year I definitely saw a few shows that were very different from typical shonen and what people associate with anime and anime tropes and all that. And hopefully I see more this year. Who knows? But I do agree with you, Eric, that the biggest problem is that I feel like the market in Japan kind of favors that a lot more.
Yeah,
now more than ever.
It's a double-edged sword. Those animes have been the anime market's like greatest. They're great. They're the greatest, but also could be their curse too, because of that. Again, just like movies and video games, when they see something that's financially marketable, where they know it's there's a pretty safe bet that's going to be successful, a la Dragon Ball Super. The whole market kind of falls into that line and becomes in danger of being stagnant until someone kind of does something out there and tries to do something a little bit different than what's being done. It's really weird. It's really weird how this entertainment business runs.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. Well, I do understand it.
I mean, I feel like it's a lot like the Hollywood effect, where they're kind of just adapting what works. So if X
Yeah.
show did this well, they're obviously gonna follow that trend.
Right. And again, like that could be good, but it could also be bad. And it just seems like now in the last, I'd say, 10 years, maybe, it just appears that it's basically been like more bad than good.
Yeah, I mean, back in like, I believe it was like the 80s, like 70s, 80s, it was all the big mech craze. 90s and 2000s was shonen. And I think still now it's still that shonen type of anime craze that's still going on. And
Showing remakes.
yeah, shonen remakes. We're seeing new series.
But again, like that really shows just how stagnant the market is. Like, again, like I don't get me wrong, I love Samurai Jack and I love that it's getting its due and everything. Like I think that's a show that deserves it. But again, like that could be a bad thing too, where it's like, you know, I think it just like depends on the show. It's just a lot more complex than what it seems, you know.
Yeah.
I don't want to say Samurai Jack is in danger of stagnating the market, but
it's the only thing keeping action animation probably alive in the West.
True.
At least right now. Of course, we know Netflix is also keeping that alive with their originals. But hopefully Samurai Jack brings in more risks to take it with animation.
Yeah,
and
more risks.
Yeah. And hopefully the Japanese market side of things can normalize a bit out and try to do something different. Like I said, I saw shows last year towards the end that really did something different. And I hope to see more of that in years to come.
I would love to find out what shows you're talking about, Sam.
91 Days. Certainly not the most original work, since it's basically every gangster movie you could ever imagine, but it's still a fun show. It's not based around anything. It definitely doesn't follow the similar tropes that you'd believe from an anime.
Okay.
It's a really solid show. I recommend it. Yuri on Ice, don't need to explain that.
Yeah, don't care about it.
I don't remember what other shows I watched last year.
If you want, you could just send it to me in a DM or something.
Yeah, I probably will, but
I guess
But those are two that you should totally check out based on Sam's recommendation. If any of you are interested in checking out those shows, check them out. And please
I'm sure people have already seen Yuri on Ice.
Okay.
And nobody doesn't want to care about my recommendation of Mish Kobayashi's Dragon Maid.
I've seen that. Very on that show.
We all have different tastes. Ow.
I think
I'm so
that does
close to
it.
the wall, so I'm like, literally fraction of a measurement away from hitting my elbow on the wall.
I think we're out of topics.
Yeah, and I think that does it. I mean, there was not much to talk about with Gundam moving to 2 a.m. Since,
But hey, we talked about the action cartoon market, which I thought was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about that and the anime market, which I don't know. I'm not a personal expert into that, but I definitely hope things don't stay the same forever.
Neither am I an expert, but like I said, I'm just going by what I've seen, through Toonami, and also just, keeping an eye on Cartoon Network and everything else. Like, it's true though. Like, that's this. I agree with you. I hope the market begins to expand again, because we got so many great shows back then because like action and like even like some of the, what's kind of cool is like shows like Teen Titans, where it kind of integrated like anime concepts into the show, and it kind of worked to its benefit. We want more of that.
Yeah, well, hopefully Sam Jack proves that there's still a market for that, and hopefully that the market...
Even Young Justice also being revived on however way that's being revived. Like, if that show does well, that'll be even more proof.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure Netflix has that, but we shall see.
Yeah, but just saying, just in general for the overall market, like if those shows are successful. It just shows that that market is feasible to the big producers that are just are obsessed with money.
Yeah.
You just, as viewers, we just got to prove what's going to make the money.
Yeah.
So pathetic that you have to put
money,
it in that context, but it's true.
Money funds the show. You watch the show. If it does well, people will continue to watch and support it.
Mm-hmm.
And executives will be happy, and they'll continue greenlighting it. So
with your eyeballs.
Yep. So I think that does it.
Yeah,
I would
I
agree.
can't think of anything else.
Well, with that said, this concludes this episode of the Toonami Squad podcast sessions. We hope you enjoyed it. I am your host, Eric Casey, also known as ZerockStar5 on Twitter.
I am JMB, aka The Boss, founder of Toonami Squad. You can find me on Twitter at JMB_70056.
I am Sam. I'm one of the writers for Toonami Squad. You can find me on Twitter at SZUniverse.
I'm Phantom. Find me on Twitter at PhantomStar64 and YouTube.com/PhantomStar Productions. And thank you for 170 some views on Retro Look Back Toonami.
Woo-hoo.
And thank you for 25 subscribers on my channel.
Also happy, even though it was last weekend, but still happy 20th anniversary one last time.
Yep.
That was an awesome broadcast. Sounded like the Toonami faithful loved it. We sure did. And thanks again, Toonami, for being freaking awesome. We love you. With that, that ends the broadcast. Adios.